Hello and welcome. I'm TJ Walker. Thanks for joining me today. This is the TJ Walker Success Channel. This is the one place on the internet where you can have any question answered about communication skills, public speaking, speaking to the media, speaking one on one, and personal development. I try to come to you live every single day here, Monday through Friday. It's a relatively new show, new set. Everything about it is new, and we're in a little bit of an experimental stage. Now, I'm not new. I've been doing communication skills training for many, many decades and have a couple million students around the world online and have worked in 45 countries with people in the real world. So if you're joining me for the first time, you can just sit back and soak up a few things. But I'd highly recommend that you actually post a question. So you can post the question if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube or any place else. And I should be able to see it. I'm watching this through the StreamYard platform, or I'm broadcasting to you through the StreamYard platform today. So please let me know what questions you have. So it's not a huge agenda. I'm not having guests today. I am going to soon start having guests who are communications experts, but also guests who are just successful in other aspects of business and life, where we will dissect how they became successful through the stories they tell and how they communicated. So we're going to be coming to you live 3 hours a day. So part of the format will be Q&A, similar to like a Dave Ramsey, where he talks about a lot of the same principles as related to finance, but he personalizes it to the individual's needs. I'll also be interviewing experts, as I mentioned. And then I'll also kind of be taking you behind the scenes of what a content creator does. I'm going to make the videos here and show you the rough drafts. I'm going to make Amazon influencer ads and show you the rough drafts of what I do. So if it all seems like it could be valuable to you, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, share it, tell your friends, and all the other things. So let's dive right in. I see several of you have already joined, so thanks so much. Do one thing. Let me know what platform you're on. Are you on YouTube? Are you on Facebook, Twitch? Where are you seeing this today? Because we're kind of experimenting through the power of StreamYard with letting people see this on half a dozen platforms. So it's always nice to know how and where are people seeing this. So I'm going to dive right in with some questions that people asked earlier in the week. And I'm going to go to a question. This is from one of my Udemy students. So let me go ahead and I'm going to hit record. We're going to save this so that my colleagues can send this to the students if they're not able to see this. So question, can I ask how you raise an investment for a video game idea you cannot make a prototype for, especially if it demands money up front? I only managed to create a game design document and a wireframe document after paying an experienced team in India. I failed to then raise the required capital needed after to develop the actual product, referencing from the documents we initially made. This has affected my relationship with the team. How can I solve this situation? Clearly, a prototype in this instance requires an experienced team to make them, to help them with the pitch. I would deliver to a potential investor. Thank you. I'd love to hear from you. So I wish you a lot of luck. I mean, I've been an app developer myself. It's a difficult thing. A couple things I want to toss out, and you may have already tried these, but is there a simpler version of your vision, some minimal viable product, something that may seem almost trivial to you, but might somehow engage users? I mean, it's amazing that the sort of apps that sometimes get attraction where all you're doing is putting your thumb on something and it slides in a different way. So I would ask you to really step back for a moment and see if there's some version, even if it's 1% of the ultimate vision of your app, that you could go ahead and create without raising investment funds. Get it out there. Show a fan base. Nothing impresses investors more than showing them You already have customers who like something about what you do. The other thing is maybe you create a minimal viable product and people aren't even willing to pay for it, but it attracts enough of a regular audience. You can put ads on it and make money and self-fund. The next avenue I would look at is figure out with your team, are there other things you could develop that would be valuable to other people? And could you even farm out? And I don't know the specifics about your company, but if you have people already on full-time salary and you're now perhaps paying them with equity, see if there are other app companies that would be interested in hiring your whole team, leveraging the expertise you've gained from the development you've done so far and doing that. The next thing I would suggest is, are you pitching yourself regularly at investor conferences? Now, this can be a slow slog. There can be scams out there where people are trying to get you to pay money to pitch, and really they don't have any investors at all. So I can't tell you what would be the best ones in the gaming industry, but look at ways of pitching. Something Gary Vaynerchuk recommends, and I would recommend it too, is document your journey. Make videos of, go live, do what I'm doing, live stream where you and your team are sitting around and talking about the challenges you face, where you're talking about who your ideal investor would be. Don't keep it all buttoned up. Don't hide it. Don't act like, oh, this is shameful if anyone finds out we're struggling. No, document the struggle, and you may attract the right people over time. You may attract a particular type of fan. So keep that in mind. Something else you could do is try to reduce your need for capital by giving parts of your company away to your existing team. Now, in some cases, I've seen startups hire people, put together a good team, run out of capital, but everyone is still really excited about the business, excited about the vision. It's just they got bills to pay. What are you going to do? One option is to have a frank conversation with your team and say, look, I haven't been able to raise money. I can't ask you to do this for nothing. And what you could do in some circumstances is tell your team, go out and get full-time jobs. Let's work on this together 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. every night. And in lieu of payment, I'm going to give you 10% of the company or 20% of the company, depending on how many people you have. And maybe you have a slow incubation period for 6 months, maybe for 3 years. But if you believe in the vision long enough, it's far better to end up with 5% of a company that really makes it and turns into something and has a huge impact than 100% of nothing. And I can tell you, I have ended up with 100% of nothing many times, and it's not a good feeling. So those are some avenues. You may want to look at, anyone who's an existing user of anything similar that anyone has created. So if they like something you've done in the past, they might like your vision for this new product. You can also go to your vendors. If there are certain companies that you're already using their products in the creation of this new business, sometimes you can go to them and say, hey, we love your product. We use it. We have visions to grow. But if we don't get over this next hump, we're not going to be able to make it. So sometimes you can go to your vendors and say, look, give us vendor-backed funding, essentially, and say, look, we're going to commit to using your server or your process or whatever it is they're selling. We're going to commit to using you exclusively for the next 5 years or 10 years or however long we're in existence. But we want you to pay us some money now, put an investment now of, say, $100,000. We're going to be giving it back to you, $5,000 a month forever or more. And they're going in with the risk that, okay, if you don't make it, they'll get nothing. But they would essentially be placing a bet on you that if you do make it, they're going to profit in a couple of different ways. They're going to have recurring revenue from you as a client long term, but they're also going to earn a piece of your business. I've seen a lot of startups try that. So you may want to give that a try as well. I wish you luck, and I hope that is helpful. Okay. I'm going to be stopping and starting as I'm recording certain segments that can then be used to give directly to students, that can be posted on other platforms, and that can be used here for other standalone videos on YouTube channel and other platforms. If you're just joining me, this is an open-ended Q&A session. I'm TJ Walker. I'm here to answer any question you have about communication skills, public communication, public speaking, private one-on-one conversation. Any question you have about how to communicate with other people. Could be about how to use your voice more effectively. It could be about body language. We'll be talking about that. Speaking of body language, that's one reason why we have this sort of unusual camera angle. I deliberately structured this so you see me a little above the knees so I can demonstrate more of how people actually move when they're giving a speech, a presentation, or turning around to give a PowerPoint. Because I want to not just tell you what to do, I want to demonstrate best practices. So that's why we call this camera one in my studio. So that's why we have this angle. Some of you trying to be helpful, and I've asked for feedback, have said, well, TJ, this camera's too low. It's showing too much of you. If I were a typical YouTuber, online video creator, I agree. But we're trying to do something a little different here, really providing an ongoing workshop on communication skills, public speaking, presenting. And that's why I wanted to show a little more of me, because that's a part of what makes public speaking nervous. You stand up in front of a room full of people and people can see you, see your whole body, or from the table up or from your knees up. They can see you. That's part of what makes people a little bit uncomfortable, or sometimes a lot uncomfortable. Okay, so we're going to go right into some questions that other people have written in the last few days that I didn't have time to address with our live shows last week. So let me hop right into that. We've got a question from, I believe, What's Food has asked me to talk a little more about being an online creator for the Udemy website. Now, Udemy, if you're not familiar with it, is an online marketplace for video-based online courses. These can be courses on virtually any topic, so-called soft skills, technology skills, the latest software. I had stumbled across them, or someone was nice enough to tell me about the site a little more than 10 years ago. And my initial reaction was, online training, that's the last thing I want to spend any more time on, because I'd already spent the previous 10, 15 years losing money making online courses. So I was not at all excited about joining the Udemy platform. But someone said, TJ, you got to do this. It's easy. There's no cost involved. They host it. The interface is easy. They do marketing. You're not having to hire web developers. And I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. I see Santiago has joined. Hi, Santiago. How are you today? And I'm going to finish my comments on Udemy in just a moment, but I did want to say hello to Santiago, one of our top students in some of our Udemy courses and a great public speaker in his own right, who has a fantastic YouTube channel. And Santiago says, can you please compare the pros and cons of sitting in front of a camera, as you did before, and standing up presentations the way you do now? So I will address that in a moment. And Santiago, I'll post the link to this live stream, and perhaps you could even come on with us. And I should have done that. What I'm trying to do is to post the link to StreamYard every day so that anyone who wants to join me can actually come on and appear right on video and have a conversation rather than having to type a question. So I should have done that and forgot. We're still kind of new at this whole daily thing. So let me go to the link, and I am, let's see, invite guest. Okay. I'm copying the invitation, and I'm now going to go to my YouTube channel, which I've got to do on a different screen. This is going to take me just a second. I've reconfigured my whole studio. So I'm now going to my YouTube page, and I'm now going to my community tab, and I'm just going to post a message, join me live now, and paste. And there's the link today. So Santiago, I hope you can actually join me live, and that way it's a little more interactive and it's more than one voice, which is one reason why people love podcasting, is because it's not just one person talking all the time. So let me give a little more update on Udemy. It's a great experience in the sense that if you're a new online course creator, you don't have to invest in doing complicated web programming. The first online course I did was 1998, complicated, too early, didn't make any money. Then I started again around 2002, still too early. 2003, too early. I was hiring web developers from different countries. It's time consuming, expensive, complicated. People didn't have the bandwidth to watch video. So fast forward 2010, things are a lot better. Obviously, more people have high-speed broadband connections all over the world, and it was a better time. Now, I want to be fair to Udemy and give you sort of the I don't want to give you just the rose-colored glasses vision. A lot of people talk about online training as if it were a panacea and it's just your instant ticket to riches. Hear me out. There are people making a lot of money with online courses. I've made a lot of money with online courses, but it's like a lot of things. It's like being an influencer. It's like being an app developer. 97, maybe 99% of people who get in don't make money because they don't do it long enough. They don't experiment enough. They don't go deeply enough. I've got a couple of dozen courses on Udemy that are bestsellers internationally, wildly successful, and have made me great money. Well, that's the part people hear. The part people don't hear or never remember is, yeah, I've got a couple dozen bestsellers, but I have 200 courses that are poor sellers that have not made me much money. So my secret has been simply more experimentation, trying more things, trying different versions of things. That's what has made me successful on Udemy. It's very rare for someone to just come on, do a course of stuff they already know and like, post it, forget it on Udemy, come back a month later and, oh, what do you know? I made an extra $50,000. Doesn't really work that way. If you're going to be successful on Udemy, you need either a large following, Facebook, email list, YouTube channel subscribers, or you need to be willing to promote. Now, certainly when I started out, I didn't have a large following, so I had to actively promote a new course. It's especially important in that first week of a course being launched, and then it's really important the first month. If you don't do it in the first month, it's very unlikely your course will ever make money, even if it is the best course anywhere in the world on that subject. It will just get buried. In that sense, it's really not that much different than Amazon. You can write a great book, but if no one's ever heard of you and you don't have a huge following and you don't have a big budget for publicity and promotion and advertising, your book is going to get buried. No one is going to see it. So it's really kind of the same thing. What is exciting about Udemy is you don't have to go out and spend $50,000 of your own money advertising. If you just kind of roll up your sleeves and do some hard work first couple of weeks of a launch, quite often that is enough to propel it, hit the algorithms the right way. It can become a bestseller, and you can make a lot of sales for years and years and years if you maintain the course, answer students' questions, update things occasionally. So I have you could say, a love-hate relationship with Udemy. I love them in that they're the best thing that ever happened to me financially. And it's really, after experimenting so many times, so many years, losing money with online training, it's really, for me, the one place where I have been very successful in the online training world. That's why I love Udemy, and they make it relatively easy. Now, you could say, I hate them. Don't tell anyone at Udemy I said that, because they are very difficult to deal with. The communication is, let's just say, less than great. And they're constantly changing their rules. And if you really make a genuine good faith effort to follow their rules, the letter and the spirit of their rules, and you're really trying your hardest, they can change the rules next week and say, oh, when you made that course a year ago, you're not following the rules we just made, therefore we're going to punish you. So that happens all the time. It's like you're supposed to know in advance where they're going. They're sort of retroactively punishing instructors all the time for not knowing in advance where the rules, where the policies are going. So I do find that extremely challenging. Santiago writes, could you please repeat how to join? Unfortunately, I missed your comments. Okay, so Santiago, if you go to my YouTube channel, that's youtube.com/@TJWalkerSuccess. You then will see tabs, videos, live, etc. There's one for community. If you tap on the community tab, you will see a post that I just put there with a link to StreamYard. And that will allow you to join me live. So if you could find that, that would be great, because I do want to answer your question on the best way for you to record yourself when you're making videos. So let me give you a second to do that. I'm going to finish up my answer to the earlier question about Udemy. Udemy, for all of its weaknesses, has been growing and growing and growing. There were, I think, perhaps 24 companies in the online training space that raise significant amounts of investor capital and venture capital. Most of them have gone out of business. Most of them have struggled. To my knowledge, the only one that's been able to go public, to have an IPO, certainly in the United States, was Udemy. And they did that a couple of years ago. And they have, last time I checked, a little more than $1 billion, maybe $2 billion market cap. So they have been the most successful. And in my mind, are almost like what Amazon is to books, Udemy is to online courses. So if you want to sell a book 25 years ago, you might do it on your own website. Your publisher might do it. You might blog about it and sell it from your blog. These days, most authors say, okay, Amazon is going to be the top priority because that's where most books are sold, certainly digital books. Udemy is not quite that dominant, but they are pretty dominant. So that's why I think it is important for anyone trying to enter that game, especially if they're not already famous, to spend time trying to learn Udemy and to get good at that. I see Santiago has joined us. We're going to add him to the stage. And Barb has joined us. Hi, Barb. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you had a great weekend. So here's my one caveat to people about Udemy. If you are someone who already has a successful following on YouTube, if you've got a Facebook group where 100,000 people are a part of your community and they're commenting every day, adding comments, liking, sharing, if you have a newsletter and you already have 50,000, 100,000, like James Clear, 500,000 before he wrote his book, Atomic Habits. If you have a huge following, then I don't recommend you go to Udemy. I recommend you create your own course, use a third-party platform like Kajabi, Teachable, Thinkific, which is the one I use, and market your course directly to your community. Now, very few of us have that large of a community, which is why Udemy is a great option for so many people. Santiago, how are you today? If you want to unmute yourself, we'd love
Hi,
to hear
TJ.
it.
How's it going?
Fantastic. And excuse me, I'm breaking one of my rules here, which is I want to create, I've invested a lot of money with new microphones and audio, and I've left you on speaker. So I'm going to connect with an earpiece. That way, when you're speaking, your audio will not go back into my microphone and cause a distortion loop.
All
Can
right.
you say something? I want to make sure.
Yeah. I'm
And I
saying
didn't do it
something
yet.
now.
So I've got to change my settings. So, folks, we are doing this live. So you're going to see mistakes in real time. You're going to see how a content creator does his best trying to create, but all of the little changes and adaptations along the way. So I'm going to go to my audio settings for speaker. I am going to hit, I'm going to have to, you know what? I think, I know what happened. I have two identical headsets, earbuds. These attached to my cell phone. The other ones I have, which were being charged, are the ones that work with my computer. And forgive me, I realize when I walk away, the quality of the audio is much worse because I do have a microphone that stays in one spot. Okay, so now I'm going to refresh. I'm going to hit my settings again. I'm going to go to my audio for speaker. And now I see the Tozo, which I'm not doing an affiliate ad today. There's no link to buy it. You can get these on Amazon. But this is one of the products that I did. Oh, now I see that I have frozen. Santiago, can you see me?
I see you, but you're frozen. Yeah.
Wow, that's not happened before.
But it's good
Let me go
commercial for.
Let me, but you're still hearing me, correct?
I hear you. Yes.
Okay. And Matthew says hello. Matthew, good to see you. So this is the first time I've seen an, oh, let me do a different camera angle. Wow. And none of those are working. Okay, I'm going to do something where I may lose us all. I'm going to hit a refresh. If not, I am going to have to sign off, sign on again. It will take about 60 seconds. Santiago, that does mean it's going to require a different URL. So I will post that
Sure. No problem.
in the setting. So I don't know if that was because I had too many web pages up. I'm going to hit refresh. If I lose us, we'll just join again.
See you later.
Okay. And we are, well, we're not back. Let's see.
TJ, did you leave? Okay, I'm here to help you if you need it. All you need to do is refresh, like you said. I'm sorry. I didn't know TJ was going live this morning. And so if I had, I would have jumped in to help. But I'm going to go check if there's... Santiago, are you still here? No. Good morning, Matthew. I'm going to check and see if... because there are more people watching the stream now, and I'd hate for him to start a new session. So let me see if I can... I will open up another tab to StreamYard and see if he's trying to create a new one then. Actually, oh, you know what I'm going to do is I'll just... let me message him on... 1 minute. Let's see if he's okay. Are you back? TJ. Almost back, huh? I'm here for you. Let me go and I'll try and get you on the phone because I think your audio is not working and I don't know why. Santiago, if you're still around, join us in the studio so he doesn't have to cut the stream. Yay. Thank you.
Hey.
I don't know what kind of difficulties he's having, so I can't help him, but he's obviously not got... I'm going to try and call him on the phone and while we're holding here. He's probably panicking, but he didn't let me know he was going to be live, and I was in there doing all of our group maintenance, and so that's what happens. Would have been nice had I known in advance here, but I'll forgive him. So he was talking about Udemy and then not starting on Udemy if you have a big following, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, you know I'm a big proponent of Udemy.
I know that, yeah.
But he's, you know, I have had others come here. He's trying again. I see him on the screen. Let's see if this works. Oh, he's still working on it. No audio? Nope, not yet. You've got the wrong audio input coming into the feed. We can't lip read, sir. Okay. I don't know, Santiago, can you lip read?
No. But I can mime.
You're doing such a bang-up job, and wasn't that the coolest video that one of our students put in over the weekend? She just blew me away. I'm sorry I tagged you right away, but I just thought...
Oh, yeah, the belly dancer. Yeah,
yeah, the belly
that was great, yeah.
mean, it was not about belly dancing, but
No.
her YouTube thumbnail was awesome. And she's a new student in the group, but she just blew me away when I watched
super
it.
professional, indeed, yeah.
We've got some really cool people in our group that are being active in our group on Facebook right now.
Yeah.
And,
is the owner of the channel also part of the of this group?
Yeah. Yes.
The
No.
holding the
That's a
interview.
good question.
Yeah.
That is a good question because I wasn't sure. I was just broadcasting her to all of my friends who have, interview authors yesterday and have podcasts because she's just got such a great voice. Okay, TJ is showing he's on screen, but off in the studio, I can actually see his image, which means a video feed. But what we're seeing here is no video feed. I am going to take a screenshot of that. Just hang in with me. Technical issues here. So he has put his audio on, but he is frozen in the screen. Sorry about that. Thanks, Santiago. Yeah. Trying to figure this out. Let me see if I can call him. But it's better to stay alive than actually break the stream and try to come back in if we can, because it is just technical difficulty. And this is a good example of what you should always have someone with you as backup when you're streaming. So always get yourself a buddy, really,
Yeah,
that you
very
can.
important.
For instance, this particular the StreamYard that we're using, depending on which type of account you have, you can have multiple. I have a team account where I can have multiple people who can sign into the account and run the stream. So, and that's, that I think that's the professional level is where that starts at. But now you know the reason why. Because
Yeah.
if you have someone there in backup, then you can continue the stream and have the person who's having technical difficulties just go off and troubleshoot their system. So, but kind of caught me off guard this morning. But I think, on the YouTube discussion side, I'm so excited about what TJ is doing. And I know part of me says he's doing that to help me personally. But the thing is that he's showing everyone so quickly how they can make very short videos just in one setting and stay focused on getting it done and pushing it out. And so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
And I think I too will be spending more time on YouTube this year, given the changes that are coming up that have already been announced on my favorite platforms, being YouTube and Facebook. There's a lot coming down, and I think that it behooves everyone to at least have a YouTube channel. Every student, anyone that is planning on to share their story, whether it's for personal or business reasons, because what YouTube has done, they even have a community tab. I think I shared that with you before on YouTube now. And they themselves, they put that out a couple years ago, and their YouTubers weren't actually using the channel. Using the tab and trying to drum up community there. And now it's become very critical to do that.
Yeah, I'm not really caught up with this tabs. Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oops, and I have no audio, but at
Yes,
least I
you
have
do.
video.
Yes, you
Let me change
do.
my audio a moment.
So he can't
He
hear.
can.
So,
He can't hear,
Okay.
but you have audio.
all
so
right. Now I hear you.
Great. And now you're
Wow, it froze again.
right. So that
Wow.
is your AV connection. Are you using another tool to connect with the video, or are you using? Are you just coming in with StreamYard? Are you using?
I'm
all
just
the
coming in with StreamYard. Everything is the same. I took the time to restart twice. And the last time I actually powered down my mixer, pulled all the wires out. And this is why we are in an experimental phase and not charging
Okay.
big bucks to advertisers because we don't have all the kinks worked out. And also why I didn't promote it everywhere, because we are still sort of in a testing beta soft launch, I guess you would call it. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to sign off and call my
Wait a minute.
tech
Wait a
team
minute. Before you take off, sir, let me give you a couple of tips, because
and
it is better to keep the stream live once you've gone live. You should always have a backup in the studio with you, which was me, which I didn't know about the stream. And so I didn't know about, coming in if you needed help or what. But that is why you should always have a backup to help you. And if you don't, if you have a guest on screen, just tell them you're having technical difficulties and that you need to step out, refresh your screen, and you'll come right back. And the person that is the guest can take over for you while you're gone is the best way to approach it.
Yeah. I mean, all good advice, Barb, but like today, I had no idea when I was starting because we had to do different settings and different changes. And we're still very much in an experimental testing phase. So I don't want to waste your time and say meet me at 9 because we didn't actually get to start till like 9:57 because of other technical things. So that's why that's happened. So I'm going to have to sign off now and get my tech team because it's now approaching midnight where they are.
Oh
So I'm going to
my.
see if I'm going to see if I can reach them.
Do you
But
want to?
thank you so much. And if you and Santiago want to continue chatting, great. Otherwise, I understand.
You want me to end it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, we
All
can
right.
end
If
it.
I can figure it out again, I am just going to pop on live. And if anyone can join me, you're welcome to. And if not, I understand completely. We'll try to get things even smoother for tomorrow. All right.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. I'll go ahead and end it, and we'll talk to you soon.